They went to Kail. In Kail, they asked the Rosh Kail. Rosh Kail said, Geschmack is Shaila. Never heard the Shaila before. I'm going to be Ma'ayin. Came the evening by Ma'ariv, so this person went to the Rav by Ma'ariv, and he asked him the Shaila. He said the same thing. What a strange Shaila. Tomorrow I'll answer you. So he came home, his wife said, no, you have an answer? He said, no, nobody knows. So he told him, no, you're from Brooklyn, why don't we just call Rabbi Belsky? So he said, he called Rabbi Belsky. Rabbi Belsky said to him, it's such an unusual shaila, and this is the 4th time I'm getting a call today for this shaila. What's Meyridik is not that they all thought to call Rabbi Belsky, but they all got through. Because Rabbi Belsky he was such a positive person. He didn't have a culture of I can't do. He had a culture of I could do. He had a culture of having kayach, having gevura for everything, whatever it was. Shiva mentioned that he took the boys in camp out to the reservoir to look at the sky and show all the stars. I went with him. I'll tell you a side. Come out everything, I did not know what he was talking about. I didn't understand. I don't know how people see figures in the stars. To me, it just looks like a bunch of dots in the sky. I looked around at the Bachrim, young Bachrim. Ruba de Ruba, if not all, I don't think they followed what he was saying. But it was the most extraordinary Musa Seder a person could have. To see, and just to see the gvura, the geschmack, that he could look at the sky and describe things, and mention chazals, and do it with such a lebedigkeit, with such a liveliness, with such a geschmack. It's the gvura saruach, which was so extraordinary. When people speak about his extraordinary memory, there's no shaila. He had the mind lahafli. But a big part of remembering Torah comes from the ruach with which a person learns. The geschmack, the drive with which a person learns. If you hear a geschmack, a riddle, and you hear an answer, you remember it. Certain geschmack. Lahavdil. Rav Belsky learned anything. He learned it was a riddle, it was a chidah, it was a question. What's pshat? How do you figure it out? Rav Belsky learned Mishnayos Kalim. He took out a pen to draw Kalim. Why? Not because he wanted to publish. Not because his Ikka Seder was a Mishnayos Kalim. Because it was a riddle. It was a nidain. It was a shaila. It was a geschmack. The gevura saruach, the spirit, the lebedikait, and everything he did. So of course nothing is too hard. Nothing's too hard. Someone asks you a riddle, you don't say, I have a headache, I can't listen to the answer, a little bit of fever, I have to go home. If it's with the geschmack, so memela, nothing is too hard. In Shemini Esra, we say, Hakel, Hagodel, Hagibar, V'Hanoira. Moshe Rabbeinu's Divrei Shvach in Parshas Eikev. Hakel, Hagodel, Hagibar, V'Hanoira. In what's known as the gross Pirish on the Siddur, really from his son, Rabbeinu Avram, he explains that the whole Shemini Esrei is just Hakel, Hagodel, Hagibar, V'Hanoira. There's no Tosefos. Everything is an explanation. Hakel, Hagodel, Hagibar, V'Hanoira. Kel Elyon is a Pirish on Kel. What's Taich Kel? Kel Elyon. What's Taich Godel? Is Goimel Chasadim Tovim. Goimel Chasadim Tovim is Taich Godel. What's Taich Gibar? Is Kainei HaKoil. Now listen to how the Gra teaches Kainei HaKoil. You look at an English translation, Kainei HaKoil, he acquires everything, he owns everything. That's how he teaches. That's how the typical teach of Kainei HaKoil. The Gra teaches Kainei HaKoil is a lashon misakein, repairing, fixing. Gvura, Kela, Godel, Hagibar, is Kel Elyon, Goimach Sadim Tovim is Taich Gadlus. And Taich Gvura, Kainei HaKoil, Shemisakein HaKoil, the Rabbeinu Shalom, he heals broken hearts. He fixes tsaris and daigas in the world. The Rebbeinu Shalom is kainei hakel, is misakin, that everything has to go ketikuna. Gevura is to fix things. Rabbi Belsky's overwhelming trait that covered everything was he had a confidence that he could fix anything. He could fix it, he could do it, he could make it understandable to Talmidim, he could fix anything that has to be fixed. I was on the plane to Eretz Yisrael for the Levaya in Eretz Yisrael, and there was a yidid of mine on the plane. I said, "Oh, you're going to Eretz Yisrael? What brings you to Eretz Yisrael?" Because I'm going to the Levaya. I'm going like you, coming back tomorrow morning. I said, "You were never in Tarvadas? Where do you come to fly to Eretz Yisrael, pick yourself up? He has Kanai Nahar, 7 children. Is that a boy?" So he tells me, listen to this. He tells me he lived in the Belsky home for 3 to 4 months. Why? He said he came from Los Angeles when he was a 12th grader. He went to Torah Tamima. He didn't Torah B'das. He went to Torah Tamima. And he was unhappy in the dorm. How exactly it happened, I don't understand. So Rabbi Belsky said, "Come, sleep in my house." So he slept with, I think, in Avram's bedroom. They put her in another bed. I don't think Rabbi Belsky had 100 extra beds in the house. He slept there, he said, between 3 and 4 months he slept there. Is there another Rosh Yeshiva in the world that has such a thing? And for someone from another yeshiva? But you see, when your Torah Belsky had a problem, he felt he could fix it. You have a problem? Come sleep in my house. Whatever it was, Rabbi Belsky felt that he could fix any daiga, anything that comes. And all of his Fashidna Yediyas that he had, the Weltliche Yediyas, they were all connected somehow to this march to Avodas Hashem. I want to tell you the dugma. We were once sitting, I don't remember what meeting it was, before a meeting, after a meeting, I don't remember the particulars. But this was almost typical. Somehow, in the discussion, the word carnival came up. Carnival, maybe the boys across the street making a carnival. So Belsky turns to me, he says, "You know what carnival means?" Belsky says, "You know what carnival means? It's something I don't know." So Belsky says to me, "Carnival, carn, comes from carnivorous, eating meat." Okay. Val is like valedictorian. It's saying goodbye. Carnival means goodbye meat. What does that mean? So Belsky says, "You don't understand. By the Catholics, when they were once upon Frum, they used to have a period of 40 days they didn't eat meat. They went 40 days, they had Lent, they didn't eat meat. So right before they had the 40 days they didn't eat meat, they had Lahavdil Elef Havdalas, what we call like a Sudam Afsekes. So they had the Sudam Afsekes, they had a lot of meat, and they called it carnival. That's what carnival means. Okay, what does that have to do with Yiddishkeit exactly? So that's to me what he was saying, was you don't understand. From the Heilige Carnival, the boys in the 2nd grade make water balloons and shaving cream, and they call it carnival. He saw in it a litzinusa davai dezar. Carnival. You know what carnival means? And I want to tell you that's not the only one he told me. I just don't remember all of them. I remember when he started physical therapy, Rabbi Belsky says, "You know what therapy means?" What therapy means? He had a shtickle Torah connecting it to the Trofim therapy of Lavan and Rachel. I don't remember what the Trofim of Lavan and Rachel had to do with his physical therapy. But it was such a lebedekai. Like, who thinks you hear a carnival? Usually, if you're sitting at a meeting in the yeshiva and the second grade is making a carnival, you start. If you're in a good mood, you think of the taisis you learned this morning. If you're in a tired mood, you nod off. Belsky saw in everything. He had this gevura to see in every single thing that came his way a tremendous kayach, a potential. It was to be alive. I was with Rabbi Belsky at a chasna in Toronto when the story of the bugs in the water in New York broke. No one had heard about it. Suddenly it became a big news. And I was there. We were at a chasna in Toronto, and I told Rabbi Belsky, sitting at a chasna, Rabbanim around the table, and tell you Avis. Every Rav who heard the Shaila, assumed learned once upon a time, let's say, look, you have to go run, get a Shulchan Aruch, a chazan. Were you going to get a hotel in Toronto? You're going to get a Shulchan Aruch? Like I said, Rabbi Belsky felt he could fix everything. I was trying to talk to him. I couldn't speak to him because he assumed I knew Vashteit and Shulchan Aruch, all the pratim, all the exceptions, which I didn't. So he had to explain. He said, if the Metzias is this way, so this is a possible head. If the Metzias is that way, that's how his mind was just running and racing. Besides that, he had it shagar b'piv. Everything that came his way was a levitikite. It was like a riddle. Water in the bug, it's a riddle. You got to find out the Metzias. The Metzias is like this, it's like that, it's like this. It was a levitikite in his learning. We don't have it. We could do it. We could do it. To stop saying Echad Nishkan Kayach. A Nakuda, of the many Nakudas of the godless of Rabbi Belsky, he didn't say Echad Nishkan Kayach. He didn't say I can't. I was once in my house with someone who was in the middle of a terrible family feud, and he told me that Ploini, the other person, went to Rabbi Belsky. I said, you better hurry up and tell your side. You better hurry up. I said, I'll go tomorrow. No, go tomorrow, go tonight. Rabbi Belsky heard a daiga by a person. It's like ungenommen. He didn't wait. It reminds me, like it says in Navi, that the David HaMelech asked Nasan HaNavi if he could build the Beis HaMikdash. So Nasan HaNavi told David, you should build the Beis HaMikdash. That night, the Rebbeinu Shalom comes to Nasan, and he says, you made a mistake. David's not building the Beis HaMikdash. Go tell him that you made a mistake. So Chazal say that the Rebbeinu Shalom told us in a Navi, go right now. If you wait, by the time you get there, the building will be up already. David's a Ishmaisa. Belsky was a Ishmaisa. We make a culture out of telling people how tired we are, how difficult it is, how stress is. We come out made a culture out of it in America. Everyone's too tired, everyone's too busy. Too busy? Belsky was too busy for someone. Too tired? We know Belsky was exhausted. He used to tell us about his power naps. Belsky's excuse, not sleeping enough, he said, I just take a power nap. I put my head down for 10 minutes and I'm refreshed. The Yitaka was. He was tired, he was busy, he was tired, but it never came out of his mouth. I'm too tired, I'm too busy, I'm too exhausted. I can say never came out of his mouth, but it wasn't his halach yelech in life. Everything was with a lebedikite, with a geschmack. If you look at a Taisus, you don't understand Taisus. It's a riddle. It's a riddle. Taisus was put there for someone like you to figure it out. If it's a riddle, learning is a different learning. The Gvura Saruach. There's a Nakuda that I could try to take from Rabbi Belsky. It's the Gvura Saruach. Sometimes so extreme. I remember we once had one of the 8th grades upstairs, a very wonderful 8th grade, and Rabbi Belsky wanted very much to give them the geschmack that they should continue in the Masifta. So we're having a meeting, so Rabbi Belsky said, I have an idea. I'll learn with them, I'll call them in, I'll learn with them Mishlei. So I think I tried never to contradict Rabbi Belsky, but I said to Rabbi Belsky, 8th graders may not be so excited about Mishlei. Possible. Couldn't understand. I'd be excited about Mishlei. I think at the end he took my advice. He learned Treosa with them. But a problem came. Rabbi Belsky felt he could fix it. We're not that busy. We should be makabel. Never to say, I'm too tired. I need a vacation. Yeshiva boys need a vacation. You're off the summer, you're off Nisan, you're off Tishrei, you need a vacation. Rabbi Belsky wasn't off in the summer. Rabbi Belsky was more busy when Yom Tovim came, Nisan and Tishrei. he's busy. Too busy. That Nakuda of Rabbi Belsky is Nakuda that I'd like to take. Not to say not to say I don't have time. A headache, a little bit of fever. Can't sit and learn with a little bit of fever. It's better to go home. Why is home better than it? $30 hespedim, efes chotzeyu tireh. Can't give over the person. So usual, so different. And we make a mistake. We're misabel on the Petira of a Gadol B'Yisrael who was in the 70s. It's an Avelis Yisrael. It's not what it is. Klal Yisrael is Machshiv Ziknei Hadar. Klal Yisrael is Ziknei Hadar in their 80s and their 90s. They should be gesund and well, even hitting 100. Ziknei Hadar that the whole Klal Yisrael looks to. Misabel on Rabbi Belsky, 77 years old. That's all Misabel on. When Misabel on Rabbi Belsky, 87 years old, at 97 years old, who we're not going to have. We're not going to have, my grandchildren are not going to have a Rabbi Belsky as the Zok in the ear, as the Gadol Hadar. The Avelis is much more than on what was, it's on what will be. I think the Malachei Maila had a problem. Chazal say, Talmidei Chachamim, Kol Zman Shemaskinim Mischakmin. How much more Mischakmin could Rabbi Belsky have possibly had? 77 to 87 to 97. We would have liked to know. The Gevuras HaRuach, the strength. The Bezdin was made in the yeshiva not because Rabbi Belsky needed more to do. Because he believed he could fix everything. And he went out to try to do it. That's what it was a Bezdin. And that's why he took Bachrim to learn B'Poyel, to learn in Yonei Shtita, V'Treifis when it was Negeya. That's why he was in camp. Wherever he was, a Gevuras HaRuach, a can-do attitude, a confidence. And the confidence sometimes got Rabbi Belsky into controversies, but that's where it all came from. A confidence that it could be done.